Welcome back to Dance Studio Owner Life Coaching. Today, I am going to talk to you about this new series that I'm launching next week. What I want to do is talk about the rationale for it and share a little bit of my own personal journey. If you're new here, my name is Ginger Haithcox. I'm a dance studio owner and I'm also a certified life coach and financial coach. What I want to talk about today is sabbatical. Now, this is something that I've been planning for quite some time, and I'm actually pretty excited about it and a little nervous. What I'm doing for the 2026-2027 season is I am taking a pause from teaching. Now, some of you, that's like, what's the big deal? Who cares? And others of you think, there's no way I could ever do that. Or you could be somewhere in between. So, what I want to do is kind of talk about what led to this decision, what is exciting, what's a little scary, and what's next for me in my journey as a dance studio owner. Um, a little bit of background: I started teaching dance in 2003 as officially as a dance teacher at a studio in a studio environment. Prior to that, I was teaching dance in summer camps and churches and things like that, and community centers. And so, with that, that was something where I did it in like um, I would say seasonal work. And so I did that over the summer, or I did that preparing for an Easter service, for example. So I have been teaching dance for more than 25 years. And that is a long time. I mean, that's a long time for any kind of relationship, let alone a work relationship, especially in today's day and age with how frequently the workforce changes. When I started teaching dance, for me, it was all about the choreography and the excitement of putting on a show, what everything was going to look like. I would imagine in elaborate fashion what it was going to look like for the performance. And that's what led me into teaching because that was the easiest way to get to choreograph. So over the years, I experienced things that many of us have experienced where you find out that, wow, knowing how to dance and teaching preschool are two different things. And so learning how to be a leader for a preschool class and how to work to their strengths, help them understand social skills, dance skills, and things like that. Learning that in addition to having my own studio where I'm supporting staff and teenagers, and there's just so many facets to becoming a dance teacher. And I think that being a studio owner is one of those things that enables you to see dancers at all different ages and stages, whether they are absolute beginner toddlers, absolute beginner adults, a senior citizen, it could be anyone, right? And all the way up to advanced. And so there's so many things you get exposed to see what you like, things that you might not like, and things that just absolutely fill your cup. One of the things that most recently filled my cup was when my studio performed in the Memorial Day parade here in town. And it was special to me because I knew that we were doing something special for our community, special, the significance of Memorial Day, honoring those who served. I have military family members. It is a big deal to me that we honor those who gave their life in service. And seeing our dancers perform, seeing the children get applause from the community, seeing them quite honestly in simple uniform. I mean, it was black shorts and a white shirt, and then we had red, white, and blue bandanas. So seeing just the simplicity and the beauty of doing something for the community, it was really heartwarming. We also had this wonderful music that we did, a beautiful lyrical song. And so it was a great opportunity for our kids to do that. The other thing that was delightful is that I was not the choreographer. I had another staff person do that, and I've been doing that for years. I've slowly handed off the, you might call it daddy daughter. We call it me and my guy. I handed that off to another choreographer. I handed off some of the work for solos, duos, and things like that to other choreographers. I handed off my dance company to other choreographers, and I handed off the parade to other choreographers. And what you may not know about me, because people often don't even recognize it, because I do speak at conferences, because I have a podcast, because I have, you know, frequently had a presence in the public, is that I'm an introvert. And for me, I get recharged when I get a chance to withdraw from it all. When I have the opportunity to sit back and celebrate other people, that brings me joy. When I see our choreographers, our teachers, develop as artists, develop as educators, that brings me joy as well. So, with that said, about 2 years ago, I started this journey with one of my own life coaches, and we somehow got to talking about my work and the things that I do. But I kind of figured out through that conversation that I was ready to just honestly take a break. And she kind of prompted me some questions around what it's like to slowly shift responsibility, shift different things to someone else. Now, this is why I think this is a good thing to talk about, especially on this podcast, because some of you may be thinking about retirement, might be ready to quit. And there is the other option of a sabbatical. And that's where you take a break from teaching. Like if you think of a sabbatical as a professor from a college, right? They take time off from teaching. It's rest, it's renewal. Maybe it's some special research or whatever for a new publication, but they're not actively teaching for a period of time so that they can continue to be strong and effective as an educator. So for me, one of the things, and I think I've mentioned this too before, that I enjoy teaching ballet. This spring, I'm working with students who are doing the ballet variations for our show, and I'm enjoying that process. Um, but I think it's a curious thing to have put myself on sabbatical for the next season. I'll still be running payroll. I'll still be, doing the HR functions behind the scenes. But taking a break from a regular weekly class for the first time in over 25 years, it sounds exciting and scary, to be honest with you. And I'm not doing this because I'm giving up on the studio. I'm not doing this because I don't think I'm good enough. I'm not doing this for any of those negative reasons. I'm not doing it for the allure of saying, "Oh, I'm totally out of the classroom. I don't do that anymore." I don't have that elitist attitude either. I just feel like it's my time. And what excites me about that is I have opportunity and options open to me that I didn't have before, because I had to schedule things around classes. I had to plan time for preparing for classes. I had to plan time for choreography for classes, prepping lesson plans and things. I'm also a little nervous about what I'm going to do to fill that time. Am I going to end up, you know, scrolling endlessly, or am I going to do something else? And so in my case, I have about 5 weeks left before the show, and then I am done teaching a regular weekly class. And I am going to be curious enough with myself to not rush to fill that time and space, to discover what it is that I really want to do, where I want to be, and how I want to spend my time. I am fortunate enough to have come this far in my entrepreneurial journey that I can do this. I'm in a place where I have amazing, amazing staff whom I love and care for. These are incredible men and women who embrace the mission. They embrace each other, and I'm proud of each and every one of them. So, with that, I want to talk about this new podcast series that's going to be coming out, and it's called The Life We Build. And so, it's a series of interviews where I am talking to other studio owners about their personal journey, whether it's discovering who they are apart from their business, um, figuring out life after divorce, understanding dating and relationships while being an entrepreneur, Um, and even talking to people who are moving on from the studio owner journey and starting a second career after being a studio owner. I'm so excited to share these stories from a diverse group of women because I think that these conversations should be heard. I think that in this female dominated industry, it is far overdue that we share these voices, that we share the real life experiences of others like us. Because, for one, we understand that we are not alone. For two, we can inspire and encourage each other and create new connections. It can be the conversation that we overhear that gives that person a breath of new life into their business and their life. And so I'm excited. This series is going to be coming up after this episode. So next week's episode will begin. And again, I encourage you to subscribe to the podcast so that all of them automatically land in your podcast box, in whatever app you listen to us on. Subscribe to the podcast, share it with a friend, because we are going to have honest conversations. No filters. I am not sponsored by any parent organization. There's no advertising. We don't have any private equity behind us. This is me and raw, honest conversations with other studio owners. And I look forward to sharing these stories with you. Now, one final note before I let you go. If you are not on my newsletter yet, I encourage you to go to the studioownerlifecoach.com/newsletter. Sign up. I am sending out twice per month a newsletter for dance studio owners that brings you insight and inspiration and a bit of life coaching to your inbox. This is not a sales newsletter. This is not about joining a program. This is just me sharing with you little bits of inspiration and insight so that it helps you along your journey. That website again is the studioownerlifecoach.com/newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter, and I cannot wait to connect with you. Stay tuned for next week, which is the beginning of the Life We Build series. Until next time, take care.